For my niggas who's tired of being tired. Never take a seat, stand up like Richard Pryor. Always trying to reach everything they desire. I'm just trying to preach that you can't take it higher. I said I feel like I'm the greatest.
Gen Y, Gen X, Millennials, Generation Me, Generation Internet. You know who you are. You've been crushed, hit hard by this economy.
So if you're dealing with college debt, maybe you're even trying to move out of your parents' house or start a new business. Look, the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to produce and to get people to pay you what you're worth.
I'm fighting for your generation. I'm not counting you out. I believe in you. We're here to give young hustlers the advice and tools they need to succeed in the 21st century.
Coast Standard Time, and that means I'm going to bring you some heat, some thunder on what you could do to go out there and make sure that you have a secure financial future and you can produce no matter what, no matter the economy, no matter who's in office, you'll be able to go out and produce and get what you want. So look, today I want to talk about the cold call, right? We recently launched in Cardone Training University, we recently launched a new set of curriculum, specified around the cold call. It's called Master the Cold Call, right? And the purpose of this content was really to fill in a lot of the gaps that a lot of people have about the cold call. And I got to tell you, from the response that we've had so far, it's kind of an important thing, right? People have been going absolutely nuts, having some huge wins in a very short period of time with the material. And so I thought, hey, man, I should just come and share this with the Young Hustlers audience. We have the studio filled with a bunch of young, hungry entrepreneurs in training in the office here. And the message that I have today is as much for you guys watching the show in the studio as it is for you guys watching from GrantCardoneTV.com. And the cold call is important. No matter what you do in life, if you want to create something big, if you want to get what you want, at some point you have to learn how to pick up the phone and call somebody that you don't know. And it's a really, it can be an uncomfortable thing because you're not familiar with it. It can definitely be an uncomfortable thing if you suck at it and you don't practice and you don't prepare and you don't know anything about it. And but what I can tell you is that if you do practice and you do prepare and you do commit to actually getting comfortable with something that is very uncomfortable for a lot of people, you can unlock a lot. Grant, the majority of the things that he's created in his life have been the result of going to people he didn't know and asking them for time, which ultimately led to him asking for money, which ultimately led to him becoming who he is today. And so for you out in the audience, first, I think you have to understand why the cold call. There's a lot going on right now. Social selling's got a big push, and people are talking about, you need to sell to people who are interested in your product, In my mind, I just think that puts you in the position of a victim. Like, let me just wait for people to come to me. So I'm going to cover a few things in the show today. Number one, the importance of the cold call. Like, why should I even make cold calls? Number two, taking the chill out of it. So making this like cold, crusty, scary, nasty thing something that you can actually go out and do with confidence. And then I want to actually go over a process that you can apply to your business to be successful in the cold call. So if you have questions specifically about your company, your call, your script, call into the show. We're taking live callers today, 305-865-8668. That's 305-865-8668. This is the Cold Call Show. We're taking the chill out of it today. And on Grant Cardone TV, we've already got some people dropping comments in. Brett Coffey, best curriculum I've seen. Love the program. Third time through it already. Dude, you are crazy, man. It's only been up for 2 days. Jacob, let's go. Kansas City in the house. Lee Koo Percival. Let's take the chill out of the cold call. Keith Dixon, trusty Keith Dixon, always here on time, ready to roll. So look, I'm going to drop right into it. Why the cold call? Number one, it's cost effective. It's cheap. You don't need an ad budget. You don't need marketing. You don't need branding. You need energy to pick up the phone. You need some creativity so that you say the right thing. And you got to have either a cell phone with a good plan, a good unlimited plan. Probably the prepaid thing isn't the best thing for you, but it's all on you. It's all on you. Anybody can go out and start a company and pick up the phone and start cold calling the day that they open the doors for their business. You don't need to plan. You don't need to prepare. A big strategy. I'll talk about what you do need to prepare for later in the show, but it's easy. It's an easy thing to do, and it's cost effective. So it's a very viable option for most people. Not everybody's fortunate to have a big ad budget or seed money or startup capital. Grant, he went around knocking on doors. That's how he built his business. For you guys in the studio, you're going to have to make some cold calls to go get into the college you want to be in or to go to get the job that you want to be in. Those are cold calls. That's not getting a job or going to college. That is making a cold call to somebody who you don't know. And so I want to talk a little later again about what you can do to prepare for that so that you have the right mindset about what happens, because I know I didn't have the right mindset. I didn't know a clue about it. I worked for Grant for a year before I really understood how to make a cold call, and that's when things really changed for me. So look, it's cost effective. It puts you in control, right? It puts you at the cause instead of the effect. It allows you to create something instead of just hope and wish and pray and cross your fingers that something might happen. Anybody can do it. Everybody can do it. All right. So look, that is my case for the cold call, and I'm going to go into the next part of the show about what you can do to be more successful. We got Jerry from Texas. Let's pop him on the line. Jerry from Texas. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Actually, Jerry, let's get back to you in a second here. We're going to go take a break real quick. We'll be right back on Grant Cardone TV. This is Young Hustlers.
Repairing credit takes time, it takes energy, and it takes resources. With so many options to repair your credit, how do you get started? At Safe Credit Solutions, our number one priority is to create a plan for you to repair your credit effectively. Our goal at Safe Credit Solutions is to provide immediate and ethical service to ensure your credit score rises and you can get qualified for the things you want in your life. Safe Credit Solutions has a credit portal for its clients to track progress and keep you involved and in control of your credit repair. Clients have been known to see results as soon as 30 to 45 days from starting. Visit safecreditsolutions.com, that's safecreditsolutions.com, to get started and have one of our FICO certified consultants start the process on your credit repair. That's safecreditsolutions.com. Today's world is digital, and every business, if they want success and expansion, must learn to thrive in this digital environment. Snowbot serves you, your company, and your business to help you develop software that will optimize your revenue, attract more customers, and increase your website conversions. With offices in Helsinki, Eastern Europe, and Tokyo, Snowbot focuses on web development, mobile app development, and design. To get your business thriving in this digital landscape, let us provide all the solutions needed to increase your conversion, keep attention, and grow your business. Visit snowbot.net, that's snowbot.net, to get started right now. Greatest sales secret of all time. Do you know what it is? This secret is the number one thing you have to learn to be great in business or in sales. It is vital to increasing income and increasing your business. Grant Cardone's new best-selling webcast will show you the greatest sales secret of all time. Learn how to close the unclosed deals, to pick up extra opportunities, to get to those people who are impossible to close, to shorten sales cycles, increase your profits, and breathe life back into dead deals. When you register now, receive immediately the 10 biggest follow-up mistakes, the 100 ways to stay motivated MP3 and workbook, and get access to a 3.5+ hour webcast for free along with an 80+ page ebook. If you want to expand in business, you must learn the greatest sales secret of all time, and Grant Cardone will show you what it is. Register now at greatestsalessecret.com. That's greatestsalessecret.com. All
right, young hustlers, we're heating up the cold call today. And dude, the first part of the show I just covered, dude, why should you make cold calls? Why is it a good idea? And if you're just tuning in now, make sure you go back and rewatch the beginning of the show because, dude, the cold call is a viable way to grow and expand your business. We got Jerry from Texas on the line. Jerry, welcome to the show. Jerry?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good, yourself?
I'm doing great. See, Jerry just made a cold call. He just called into the show. He never talked to me before, never talked to any of these other folks, and now he's being broadcast for all to hear. So don't screw it up, Jerry. What's your question, man?
I just get better on the phones.
You what?
Just how to get better on the phones.
How to get better on the phones? Well, you came to the right show because that's what we're doing today, dude. You gotta know the 3 P's of making cold calls. Number 1, you have to prepare. You got to be prepared, man. You got to have a script. You got to know what objections and problems are coming. You've got to actually put yourself in the position of making the calls for you to build confidence about it, right? The second thing you need to do is you need to practice. You need to get in the gym every day. You need to practice every single day before you start making calls. When you run into difficulties or problems, you gotta stop. You gotta practice and work through it. And then the last thing you gotta have is you gotta have a process. Woo! You got to have a process to follow, right? You got to have a script. You got to have something consistent that's stable that no matter what happens in the call, no matter how freaked out you get, like you always got that stable thing to come back to. So if you want to get better on cold calls, dude, that's what you got to do. What do you sell?
Chevrolets.
What's that?
Chevrolet.
Oh, Chevrolets. Oh, okay. So you sell cars. So are you making a lot of cold calls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
many calls are you making every day?
100 at least.
100 cold calls, right on. Where are you getting the leads from?
Repeat customers, morphin orders, referrals, unsold customers. My motto is either getting buyer's order or restraining orders.
Oh, there you go, man. I'm gonna call you till they buy or die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so let's pretend that I bought a car 2 years from you, from the dealership, from a sales guy who's not there anymore. What's the call gonna sound like? Click. Normally what happens is when you call me, I hang up on you. That's normally how the cold call goes. All right, let's go to the next caller, Darren from Texas.
Hello.
Get put on the hot seat, man. Darren, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing, Jarrod?
I'm good, man. What's your question today?
Awesome. My question is more of a comment. I got the cold calling thing on Cardone U from the start of the year to now. It's been great for me, including his, celebrity soul, not first or last. I really enjoyed it and, really loving that cold calling content and implemented in my cold calling yesterday. So went out really well. And again, just a thank you, really, from me to you guys, the whole Cardone team. Mike Bonnet really helped me out to get it going and pull the trigger now. So
good, man. Good. I love that.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that. Thanks for calling in and sharing your story, man. We appreciate that. Dude, there's no secret. Mike Bonnet, he's a great guy. He's a great guy making a ton of phone calls every day. He understands there is no way you close every call. There's no way you get through and talk to somebody on every call. What you have to do is start building a pipeline big enough that eventually, over time, it starts to produce fruit. And that's a lot of things. One of the big things that people, understand about the cold call is they think that there's a definitive way for them to pick up a cold call and be successful every single time, right? Cold call conversion percentages are like 2 or 3%. I mean, it's pretty low, right? It's pretty low. So you got to have the right mindset about what's required. For the folks here in the studio, you want to go to the college, you want to go to the FIU, the Ole Miss, the UM, and you want to start hitting the admissions office after you graduate, you want to start getting a job. You got to understand, one call, one action, one email, one resume, one request will not get you anywhere. It will not get you anywhere. You have to literally cover people up. You have to pound people into submission. I know that's kind of a weird thing to think about, but my deal changed for me here when I started calling people every single day. When I saw a prospect, I would literally call them every single day. I wouldn't give up. We're on a deal now where we call people twice a day every day until we talk to you. freaking cranking up the heat on them. You know, people get so freaked out, they'll do like Jerry did, just hang up on themselves, man. Get all freaked out, hang up on themselves. No, I get it, man. But dude, look, the reason that probably happened is because he wasn't prepared, right? He wasn't prepared. He wasn't confident. He hadn't role played this whole thing out. So that's not a problem. It just means that, hey, that you're just out of practice. If I went to play basketball with LeBron James right now, both my ankles would break in 30 seconds or less, right? Because dude's been practicing every day. So you've got to get these 3 points in. You've got to prepare, you've got to practice, and you've got to have a process, right? Those are my 3 Ps. Those are my notes. 3 Ps. 3 Ps, prepare, practice, and process. So let's go into what you can do to actually prepare to be more successful on the call, because like the more prepared I am for something, the more confident I feel. Would y'all agree with that? The more prepared you are for a test, for something that you're doing, the more prepared you are, the more confident you feel. Y'all just nod your heads if you agree with that. Yep, y'all agree with that? Okay. So look, this is no different. Business is no different. Life is no different. The more prepared you are for something, the more confident that you're going to feel, right? So you need to have a script. When making a cold call, you need to have a script that you know backwards and forwards. You need to know what's going to happen when the customer objects, or they say no, or they're not interested, or they're not looking right now, or they're not ready to buy anything, or they're already working with somebody else, or they're not the one that can make a decision, or they don't have the budget. Whatever the objection is, you gotta know what's coming, right? I mean, if y'all were playing baseball, okay, and I told you, hey, on tomorrow, Friday, I'm gonna put you up at the batting the plate, okay? I'm gonna put a bat in your hand. Okay, I'm gonna throw you a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and if you can hit the ball, I'll give you $1 million. $1 million. All right. After I told you that, what would you go do right now? Practice. You'd practice, right? What would you practice? You wouldn't practice a curveball, right? No, because you know what pitch is coming. So, like in sales, when you're making cold calls, you know what problems are coming oftentimes before they come. I'm not interested. We're already working with somebody else. I'm not buying anything today. I'm not the person that can make a decision. We don't have the budget. Call me back in 3 months. Send me some information. These are things that you can predict, right? We live in Miami. When a hurricane comes, they're like, hey, something bad's coming. You have the opportunity to get out of the way, right? You have that predictability. We know what's coming. So we don't hang out. We leave. We go somewhere else. Or we go to a friend's house that has a generator and they do one of those hurricane party deals, So the point is you can prepare for what's coming. So for you guys, dude, you got to prepare for the idea that college is going to be tough, getting a job is going to be even tougher, and you got to start taking actions now that'll prepare you from that. And we'll pick back up when we get back from the break on Young Hustlers.
The fall is always the moment when you have to redefine yourself. Easy is not part of success. Easy is not part of life. When I was 33 years old, I faced the lowest point in my life. I was broke. I was battling demons of women, finances, alcohol, and drug addictions. And here I stand in front of you in the top 1% of car salesmen in the United States. Quitting was never an option for me. I keep pushing for my son, for my dreams, and what I'm attempting to create for my own life. My name is Mark Jennison, and this is the Comeback Corner. I was a millionaire twice and lost it all twice. And now I'm here to show you what it takes to come back and stand in the face of adversity, even if that adversity is yourself. This show is designed to prove that no matter how far you fall, no matter how great the defeat or failure, there's always a comeback. There's always an opportunity to redefine yourself, redefine who you are, and come back stronger, better, and faster than before.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/comeback corner. That's youtube.com/comeback corner.
Greatest sales secret of all time. Do you know what it is? This secret is the number one thing you have to learn to be great in business or in sales. It is vital to increasing income and increasing your business. Grant Cardone's new best-selling webcast will show you the greatest sales secret of all time. Learn how to close the unclosed deals, to pick up extra opportunities, to get to those people who are impossible to close, to shorten sales cycles, increase your profits, and breathe life back into dead deals. When you register now, receive immediately the 10 biggest follow-up mistakes, the 100 ways to stay motivated MP3 and workbook, and get access to a 3.5+ hour webcast for free, along with an 80+ page ebook. If you want to expand in business, you must learn the greatest sales secret of all time, and Grant Cardone will show you what it is. Register now at greatestsalessecret.com. That's greatestsalessecret.com.
Hey, we're back. We're talking cold calls. We're talking warming that cold call up, right? What can you do to heat up the cold call so that you can be successful? Keith Dixon, this is the part where I need to nail my pitch down. Having these nailed down pitches helps. Jacob, is cold calling the only prospecting method you use? Of course not, man. It's a arrow in the quiver, right? Cold calling, referrals, inbound leads, information-based marketing that creates opportunities. Let's see, who else? Lee, Jacob, got to have confidence, of course. Bronson Digital, Frank the Tank. Guys, thanks for jumping on here. I did see a good question in here from Mr. Havry. Hey, Jarrod, do you use the same method when cold calling or prospecting as you do in follow-up, meaning cold calls, voicemails, email, personal note? See, cold calling and follow-up actually become one thing when you're pursuing somebody, because there's really two types of follow-up. There's pre-sale follow-up, meaning, hey, I'm following up with them trying to get the deal. And then there's post-sale follow-up, meaning following up with the customer, making sure that they're winning and having success with the program. So, you want to make sure that you do have a follow-up strategy that accompanies your cold calls, like especially if you're doing a strategic cold, like outbound cold call campaign, like we target people. We don't just call through random lists. We go out and we target people in industries we know we've had success in, with large sales teams, small sales teams, retail, inside sales, outside sales, door to door. We go in all the areas where we've had success, and then we target companies in those spaces so we have a story to share with them. But same process applies. I'm going to cold call. Voicemails. I mean, I could do a whole show just on voicemails. Email, personal note, yes, always. Text, cover people up with as many different ways to get in contact as you can. So we're talking cold calls here. We talked why the cold call in the beginning, because it's cost effective. Anybody can do it. All it does is require a little bit of effort, and it puts you in control of what's coming back to you. You're not on the receiving end. You are out there pushing and shoving and getting what is yours. I mean, that's really what it's all about, man. If you want to go out and get what you want, you actually have to go out and get what you want. People just don't show up and give it to you. I didn't learn that lesson till later in life, till I was 26 years old, came to work for Grant. Dude, make phone calls every day. There's the phone, pick it up, get to work. I'm like, hang up on myself, right? Like, I didn't even know. I didn't know what to do. It was tough, right? But then I started figuring it out. I'm like, okay, hey, what do I need to do? Number one, got to prepare. What is the script? Okay, what is the script? What are the objections, right? What are the big claims that I have about my product or service that I could actually use to set a hook and get somebody engaged in the call, right? How am I role playing? How am I preparing and practicing, right? Dude, we role play for 30 minutes every day before we start the day here. Okay, I got guys that have been here selling the product for 2 years. They don't need help pitching the program. What I'm trying to do for those 30 minutes is get them into the quick think, right? You got a moment of time about that long, man. You got maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds to make an impression on somebody. They're going to pick up your enthusiasm. They're going to pick up your confidence, and they're going to make a decision right at that point whether or not they want to talk to you or not. I was watching a segment in the new cold call program that's in Cardone Sales University. I mean, I got people that said the entire university purchase was worth the first 4 modules of content that they watched out of the cold call curriculum. We're still running a deal on Cardone University. It's probably going to end today. It's cardoneuniversity.com. Are we running a backslash on the special right now? CardoneUniversity.com. It's a $9.95 purchase, one-time fee. It'll cover you for the entire year and get you access to this full cold calling program. But CardoneUniversity.com/invest. But dude, look, the thing is, you've got to prepare for that call. You've got a moment of time. They're going to make the decision in that short period of 15 seconds on whether or not to continue the conversation. Some people are just going to be like, hey, I'm not interested, and they're going to immediately hang up. Other people are going to say, hey, I'm not interested, and they might wait because maybe they don't want to be rude. They want to make sure the call ends right, or maybe, just maybe, they might be interested in what you have to say. But if you can't be quick, if you can't jump right in and you can't drop something sticky that just, a hook that they swallow so deep when you rip that thing out, their guts are coming with it. If you can't do that in that moment of time, dude, you're not going to be successful and they're going to hang up on you. But the only way that you can do that is to prepare and to practice, to role play every single day. It takes one day to get rusty. One day, right? One day. So if you're not training and you're not drilling and you're not practicing, you're not in front of a mirror, you're not partnering up with somebody, you're not drilling that initial part of the call, that part of the call when you know that moment of truth comes where that objection is going to drop. And if you can't be quick, you can't agree, you can't handle it, you can't transition, you can't drop a big hook, dude, click, click, click is all you're going to be hearing, right? And that ain't something you like to hear, man, when you're making cold calls. No confidence comes from the click, right? None. Unless, of course, you know your call calculations, which is another subject in and of itself. So look, prepare, practice, and process. Those are the 3 P's of the cold call. Prepare, practice. Prepare, you mean get your stuff together. Practice, role play that thing every single day. And then the last piece, you got to have a process. Now, we have a 4-step process for a cold call. This is included in the cold call material where we actually give you a fill-in-the-blank script that follows this exact system, okay? Number 1, you have an introduction, you greet the customer. Number 2, you got to have a reason for calling. What's the reason for calling? Why should I give you my time? What is your big claim in that beginning part of the call that's going to set a hook? Hey, Rob, my name's Jarrod Glandt. I'm calling from Cardone Enterprises. The reason for the call today is we're working with a competitor of yours down the road. I was actually able to increase their sales over 30% in less than 90 days. We work with them, and I thought that it would be something you'd want to take a look at. Now, to be sure that I'm not wasting your time, Rob, let me ask you a couple questions. Do you have a sales team?
I do.
Fantastic. How many sales managers do you have?
About 50. Oh, managers?
Yeah.
I would say about 4.
4 managers. Okay, great. Hey, look, if there was one problem that I could solve for you that you might give me a little bit of cash to fix, what would that problem be?
Dude, I want to bring in more business.
More business.
Yeah.
More business, like we did for your competitor down the road in less than 90 days.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Rob, let me just level with you, man. If I could only do half of what I've said, okay, I got them 30. I think I can do better for you. If I can only do half of what I said, could you make 5 minutes for me so I can show you our program and how we can help you in your business?
Yeah.
And then you're going to move into the lock close, which we'll cover later. But greet, reason, big claim, qualify, fact find. I'm asking my fact finding questions to move through the call, and then I'm going to close on the appointment. Always insert urgency into this call, folks. Like, go for a now demo or a now presentation. If you sell something that can be demoed online, always go for now or later this afternoon, right? Take the time out of the equation, collapse it. They're going to be thinking, oh, it's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I don't really want to do anything on Friday. So how about next week sometime? Wrong. Dude, I can do it right now or I can do it later this afternoon. Which one works better for ya? Right? And then we want to go through. We want to set the appointment. Hey, I want you to get a pen down, right? Get a pen down. I want you to write this down. This is my last name. Do you have a calendar in front of you? Great. Okay. Last name, Glandt. First name, Jarrod. That's my name, Jarrod Glandt. Now I'm going to be calling you back at 4 p.m. per your request this afternoon to show you how we are going to increase your business 30% in less than 90 days. And before I let you go, Rob, I'd just like to ask you a question. Is there any reason at all, short of an act of God, that you won't be able to join me for the call at 4 p.m. today? Got to go for the lock. Got to ask again. They've already said yes, but they could just be nice guying you. And nice guy appointments don't mean deals. They mean you show up on go-to meeting, hearing the beep, beep, waiting for him to come in, beep, waiting for him, beep. Nobody's home, man. Nobody's home, right? So look, this is the process. This is the way that you can prepare to be successful on cold calls. I want to go to Valia from California. Valia, what's happening? Valia, are you there? Hello? Why don't you call back? Make a cold call. Call in. Call in with your cold call. Mr. Joe on the comment feed here. Hey, Jarrod, what is a good way to role play when you work for yourself and you don't have anyone directly around you to practice with? Hey, that's a great question. Do you have friends or family? I hope so. I hope so. Maybe you don't even have family, which I understand some people get all spread out like my family. I don't have anybody close to me that's in my family, but I do have a wife now. Bing. So I'm going to be like, hey, baby, I need your help for like 20 minutes this morning before I go into work. I know you got to do your beach body thing, but let me get you for 20 minutes, all right? Here's what I need you to say. When I call and say, hey, John, this is Jarrod from Cardone Enterprises, I need you to immediately interrupt and say, I'm not interested, right? Okay, now let's try it. Hey, this is Jarrod from Cardone Enterprises. Not interested. Hey, I completely understand at this point I wouldn't expect you to be interested in anything because I haven't showed it to you. Neither was your competitor so-and-so down the street when I first called him. But in less than 90 days, we were able to increase his business 30%. I thought you might want to take a look at what we have. Now, to be sure that I'm not wasting your time, how many salespeople do you have? Move into the call, right? So you're gonna role play the deal with whoever you can, man. If you're on Cardone University and you wanna call Robin. Robin will role play with you a little bit. Bronson Digital. How do you recommend role playing when you're solo? Another good question. Yeah. So dude, look, you can video it. Dude, Bronson Digital and Mr. Joe get together. Boom, making connections here on Young Hustlers. That's what we do, right? Find people out there, dude. The people in this audience, just so you guys know, are highly engaged and they're all focused on success and money. There's nothing preventing you from making a cold call to Mr. Joe and saying, hey, Mr. Joe, why don't me and you get together and role play every morning? We'll do these 15-minute role play sessions. And man, dude, who knows? A beautiful friendship may evolve, right? Jay Hernandez, how do you handle clients that just never call back or answer their phones? Well, you can quit, but if you quit, you're not going to get the deal. You got to get creative. Find them on social media. Find other influencers in the office. Find their email address. Send pizza. Mike Bonnet sends people pizzas all the time, man. He sends people pizzas just to get their attention, right? So you got to get creative with what you do. When you commit to getting the deal done with them, the creativity will follow. You'll start figuring out, okay, hey, I got to call and say something different every day, because if you're calling saying the same thing every day, dude, people aren't going to want to take your call. You're not bringing anything new, right? You got to get out of that repeater strategy, that same thing over and over and over again. Bring something new and fresh. Steve, you're good, but where is Grant? You two are great together when you both do Young Hustlers. Sorry, man. I'm trying to bring it for you. Grant's got other obligations. We have a bunch of people in the office right now. Mr. Habry, thank you for the answer. Why do you think emails are deemed useless when trying to create traffic? I don't think emails are useless, but if anybody's got something important enough to sell me, they can pick up the phone and call me like we do every day, right? An email, dude, you could take a list of 100,000 email addresses and send one sales pitch with the click of a button and just cross your fingers and wait for the people to just fall down. Be the little victim down at the bottom waiting to cherry pick the deals that fall out of there. Or you can say, hey, I know I could have sent you an email like most other people do, but I wanted to pick up the phone and reach out and call you and let you know that I'm a real person. I selected you specifically to do business with. You're not a random name on a list. You're not somebody that I bought off an email list from Sales Genie. I decided that I want to do business with you, Rob, and I'm calling you today to figure out what we can do to make that happen, because I'm not going away. I believe in my product. I believe in my company, and I know we can help you and your people. I need 5 minutes of your time. Can you give it to me now, or is later this afternoon better? Right? So you gotta be able to create something interesting and different to get through to people, and email isn't always the best way to do it. So look, guys, we're taking the chill out of the cold call, man. I got McKinsey from the UK. Could you advise us as to what's the best route for an 18-year-old looking to get into sales? Let's see. I've secured a place at university doing business. However, sales is something that has always interested me, and I feel I could benefit in some form of training. Well, number one, you can enroll in Cardone University, Grant Cardone Sales Training University. It's a $995 purchase, probably less than you spent on books for your school this semester. It's a one-time fee. It gives you a 12-month enrollment, and it'll teach you everything that the schools won't teach you about how to actually go create sales, man. I went to college, I'll tell you. I went to college. They taught me about marketing. They taught me about sales management. They taught me about forecasting. They taught me about strategy. And then I got out, and I'm like, God damn, man, they taught me how to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. They didn't teach me how to get a job, or how to get an entry-level sales job, or how to make a cold call, or what follow-up was. They didn't teach me any of that. For $9.95, we can teach you everything that here, okay? If you're marketing to restaurant owners, should I call at certain times? I don't know enough about the restaurant space, but what I would tell you is that right now is always the best time to call. What we do is we call people multiple times throughout the day so that if the morning is best or the midday is best or the afternoon's best, we schedule the recalls for the next day at different times so that we're hitting people at different times. But in most cases, you just have to increase the frequency in order to get through, Steve. Good question, though. So look, taking the chill out of the cold call, the 3 Ps, you've got to prepare, you've got to practice, and you've got to have a process. If you don't do those 3 things, you will not be that successful with cold calls. We do a lot of cold calls here. I don't know, 3,000, 4,000 calls a day go out of the office. And, the things we share with you on this show are all things that we're actually employing and things that we're doing. So, look, I hope you got a lot from this show. Make sure you stop by thegreatestsalessecret.com because we got a freaking bomb coming for you. We got something that's so good. We got not only a secret, but the greatest sales secret of all time coming to you. It's an upcoming event that we have. You're going to get an ebook. You're going to get 100 ways to stay motivated. You're getting a workbook, the 10 follow-up mistakes, and then we're throwing in a 3.5-hour webinar at the very end to boot. So don't miss that. It's $49. Dude, look, we're here to help you. That's what the show's all about. That's why you guys come here every week. Share the show. Go download the show on iTunes and Stitcher. We have 2 shows in the top 20 for iTunes business right now. Let's get them both to number 1 and 2, man. Get some push on there. Go get some downloads, man. Leave some comments. iTunes, Stitcher, get the show there as well. Hey, look, and just remember, the only people that condemn your hustle are the ones that have already given up on the hustle themselves. We'll see you guys next week.